Good morning, guys. Hope you're doing okay this weekend. Thanks for joining me. This session this morning is dedicated to the winter solstice. So on Monday, it's the shortest day of the year. Always a really special time in the yoga calendar because it's that point where we tend to take a bit of time reflecting, looking back on the year that's been, and also starting to look ahead to next year. Obviously, the days are going to begin to get longer. Morning, Karen. Hi, Alice. Thanks for joining me. And yeah, so we're kind of starting to look forward and set our intentions as well. So it's a really nice time. It's one of my favourite times of year, just before Christmas. So today's session, morning Julie, this is going to be a nice flow, working with the breath, working to sort of welcome the sun back as the days are going to start getting longer again after Monday. And then we're going to have a little bit of a longer meditation at the end of class where I will guide you through some questions, getting you to reflect on the year that's been and starting to look ahead and set your intentions for the new year as well. So we'll get started. We're just going to start from a seated position today. So get yourselves nice and comfy. So I'm sitting with my legs crossed, but you can sit in any comfortable seated position for you. Just rest your hands down wherever is comfortable. Relax your shoulders back and down. Sit up nice and tall, lifting up through the crown of your head. And then if it's okay for you to do so, you can close your eyes or just soften your gaze. And begin to bring your focus inwards. So start to focus in on the breath. As you inhale and exhale naturally, just allowing everything to slow down. So bringing your focus gradually further and further in. So at first you might be very aware of everything that might be going on in the outside world. You might be having loads of thoughts whizzing around in your mind about things that are going on or things that are about to happen. Obviously this week before Christmas is always a really busy time for everyone. So we're just going to give permission to all of those things, just to wait, just to move away from our focus for now. And we're going to draw that focus a little bit further inwards. Now you might be aware of things that are going on within the house or within the room around you. Again, we're going to give those permission just to be, and we're going to allow that focus to come closer in again. So all we're focusing on now is ourselves. So your focus is just on your body and your breath. Everything else that's happening is just background noise. It's just other things that are going on in the world, but they're not concerning us right now. So all I want you to do is keep that focus on the breath and take a quick scan through your body, becoming aware of how you feel right now, noticing the sensations as you breathe in and breathe out, becoming aware of any points within your body that feel uncomfortable, any aches and pains, any areas of tension or tightness. Just taking the time now to check in with yourself and make yourself aware of those bits that you need to focus on, give a little bit more attention to or a little bit more compassion to. And then focus completely now on the breath. Beginning to take control of that breath. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose if you can. Breathing really deeply on that inhale, taking in the biggest breath you possibly can. And then exhaling completely on the exhale. So as you inhale, draw that breath down, not just into your chest, but all the way down into your belly. Lovely, deep, full breaths. And exhale until there's nothing left, feeling your shoulders relax down, feeling your chest relax down. So take a few of these really nice deep breaths, allowing yourself to slow down and switch off, letting all those thoughts just melt away until all that's left is quiet and calm. And it's only when we are in the present, when we're nice and still and quiet, that we can truly begin to heal and we can truly begin to think about what we want out of life. So today's session we're reflecting and we're also looking forward. But for now, I want you to just be present, just be here and now. So we're going to take 2 more of these breaths, just sitting nice and still, focusing in on the sensations in the body and the breath. And then once you've done your 2 breaths, open your eyes. And we're going to take the head to one side, so dropping the right ear to the right shoulder. Make sure that the shoulders are nice and relaxed, that the shoulder's not coming up to meet the ear. The ear should be gently melting down to meet the shoulder. Feeling that stretch all the way down the left side of the neck. And there's the option, if you want to gently drop that left hand from the knee down to the floor. Feel that stretch increase, that space between the shoulder and the ear is increasing on one side and decreasing on the other side. Hold it here for a few breaths. Allow that space to lengthen and increase, allowing any tension there to gently melt away. And then bring the hand back onto the knee if you've dropped it down. And we're going to roll the head across the front. So gently drop the chin down to the chest really slowly. And then take the head the other side. So this time the left ear is relaxing down towards the left shoulder. Keep both shoulders soft and relaxed. Feel that stretch down the right side of your neck this time. And the option is there to gently drop that right hand if you want to. Just resting your fingertips on the floor. Feel that stretch. So really focus on relaxing that right shoulder down and notice that lovely big stretch. So just holding it there, keeping the head nice and still, not pushing too far into it, just allowing gravity to do its work. Releasing that tightness and tension. One more breath. And then bring the hand back up and roll the head forward once again. So we're just going to take it from side to side now, moving with your breath. So as you inhale, roll the head to one side. And as you exhale, roll it all the way across to the other side. So close your eyes if you want to. Really feel into those neck and shoulder muscles, moving in harmony with the breath. Inhale across. Exhale back. And one more breath. In and out. And then drop the chin all the way down to the chest. And then look all the way up towards the ceiling. So gently dropping that head back. Feeling that stretch down the front of the neck and the throat. And then take your gaze central. So sitting up nice and tall, lifting through the crown of the head, gently tucking your chin inwards, just so you feel that lengthening down the back of your neck. Lovely, nice posture. Okay, on your next inhale, lift your shoulders up towards your ears. And on your exhale, let them release down. So if you want to, you can breathe out through your mouth in a nice big sigh, releasing all of that air. And just let those shoulders fall down. One more. Lovely. Let's take those shoulders in circles now backwards. So nice big circles, rolling them back and down. And then we're going to take the fingertips and just place them on the shoulders and continue to do those circles. So this time we're bringing the elbows into it. So we're doing nice big circles. So if you're drawing big circles in the air with those elbows, trying to make those circles as big as you possibly can. So see if you can draw your forearms nice and close together in the front. And then see if you can pinch those elbows back. So really big circles here with those shoulders. Okay, release the fingertips down, rest your hands on your legs once again, and this time we're going to take the shoulders forward, rolling the shoulders. So this might feel really different moving in this direction. So just remember to completely relax them down as they come forward. And then we'll bring the fingertips onto the shoulders and we'll do the same thing we did before, but this time we're rolling those shoulders forward. So we're bringing those elbows forward in the circles. So the good thing about resting the fingertips on the shoulder joints is that sometimes you can actually feel that tension in those shoulders and you can feel those little pops and clicks as that tension gets released. So nice big circles. Just going to do 2 more. Lovely. Release the hands down. Sit yourself up nice and tall once again. This time bring your fingertips down to the floor in front of you. Take a deep breath in and lengthen through the spine, lifting up through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, start to hinge forward from the hips, walking your hands out in front into a nice little forward fold. So just bringing yourself down as far forward as comfortable for you. So maybe you can rest your forearms on the floor, or maybe you're still up on your fingertips. That's absolutely fine. Just come to wherever feels right for you when you start to feel that pinch in the hips, and when your spine comes to a point where it feels comfortable, where it's not going to go any further. Allow your head to relax, so release any tension in the neck. And then we're going to breathe here for a few breaths, allowing the hips a chance to relax now. So we're moving our focus to the lower body. We've released and relaxed the shoulders and the neck. We're going to allow the back to lengthen and the hips to release and soften. So take 3 breaths now. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Every time you breathe out, just notice whether it's possible to melt a little bit further into the pose. One more breath. And then roll yourself up. So walk those hands back in. Uncurl the spine until you're sitting up nice and tall once again. Now you know what's coming. We're going to swap the legs round. So uncross those legs and then cross them round in the opposite way. So whichever leg you normally have in front, have the other one in front. So it will feel a bit weird because our hips are usually much tighter on one side than the other because of this, because we have a preferred way that we always cross our legs. So take a moment to get yourself comfortable like this. Inhale to lengthen through the spine, sitting up nice and tall once again. Bring the hands down in front of you and exhale, start to walk those hands forward. Coming into that forward fold once again, trying to hinge from the hips and keep the back nice and straight if you can. You may notice quite a difference in this side. Maybe you can't come forward as far this way. And again, that's completely normal and absolutely fine. Just tune in to that pressure in the hips. Notice where that pinching sensation is and visualize sending the breath there. The breath will always help you to relax and release more deeply into a pose. Focusing on the breath will also help distract you from any discomfort if you have got slightly tight hips. So again, we're going to take 3 breaths here, giving ourselves time to melt into this forward fold. Inhaling deeply and exhaling completely, softening those hips, lengthening through the back. relaxing your neck and your jaw. And one more breath. Good. Walk the hands in, roll yourself up. Shrug the shoulders back and down, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Okay, we're going to come forward now into our tabletop position. So bring your hands to the floor in front of you. Roll forward onto those knees. And take your time to get comfy. Remember, give yourself any additional padding that you need. Knees underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. Any of my mums-to-be that are watching, take those knees a bit wider apart. And we're just going to take the hips from side to side. Give them a little bit of a wiggle. Sometimes when we do that forward fold, those hips can start to feel a little bit uncomfortable. So we'll give them a nice wiggle. Just get them moving a little bit. And then we're going to move into our cat-cow stretch now. So beginning to mobilize that spine, flowing with the breath. Okay, so inhale, tilt the tailbone up, drop the belly down, heart comes forward, lift your gaze. Exhale, tuck your tailbone under, push up through the back, drop that head down. Inhale to tilt the tailbone, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale to tuck the tailbone, push up through that back, really arching up and relax the head. Good, keep moving now with your own breath, flowing from one pose to the other. Remembering to always begin at the bottom of your back, so the tailbone always starts the movement, and then it flows up the back like a Mexican wave. Every vertebra moving separately, one at a time. Imagine your back is like a bike chain, and it's just moving one bit at a time, but it's flowing. Everything is connected. So really focus on that breath. Just breathing nice and slowly and connecting the movement in with it. So we're going to do one more full breath in and out. And then come back to a nice flat back. Bring your big toes together. Walk those knees a little bit wider apart, and then float the hips back to the heels, resting down in child's pose. So melt your upper body down, either resting your forehead on the mat or making a little pillow with the hands or the fists to rest your forehead on. But just allow the upper body to completely soften and melt down. So the sensation here is a stretching across the shoulders. So feel those shoulder blades just gently melting apart. You should also feel a lengthening through your spine. So make sure your head's nice and relaxed, and you can feel that length all the way from the crown of your head down to your tailbone. You should be feeling your hips melting down towards your heels. So just visualize someone's gently pressing down on the bottom of your back, gently pressing those hips down, feeling them sinking down towards the heels. So wherever you're up to at the moment, whether your hips are quite high or whether they are almost touching your heels, that's fine. Just rest in whichever position works for you. So child's pose is our resting pose. You can come back to this at any point in the class if you need to take a little breather. Just give yourself time to rest and release. So we're going to begin to activate this stretch now. So reach your hands out in front. Spread the fingers out nice and wide. Get a big stretch in between each finger. Now inhale, rock your weight forward slightly just so you can tuck your toes under and shuffle the knees a little bit closer in so they're under the hips once again. Take another breath in here. Prepare yourself to come up into downward dog. And on the exhale, push into those hands. Gently begin to lift the knees up and take those hips nice and high. So at first, we're going to keep the knees nice and soft. And we're just going to focus on lifting those hips up really high. So almost as if you're trying to get your belly to touch your thighs. So the knees can be a bit bent, but you want to really lift those hips up and push your chest through your shoulders. And only then can you begin to straighten out those legs and lower your heels down. That's always the last thing to focus on in downward dog. It's definitely a back stretch above everything else. So maybe you might want to just take the hips from side to side. Just have a little wiggle. Make your dog wag its tail. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift our right leg up and lift it up in the air behind us, coming into a three-legged dog. So take that leg as high as it will go. Remembering to keep your toes pointing down towards the floor though. Don't let that hip open out to the side. Keep the toes pointing down. And on your next inhale, look forward in between your hands. And that's where you're going to step that right leg. So big step forward. Take as many steps as you need to get there. Okay, when you're happy with that foot, when it's in between the hands, see if you can bring the hands up to rest on the knee. Lifting the upper body nice and straight and tall. So just bring your attention to that back leg. We want to make that leg work now. So we're going to lift the knee up into the thigh. So straighten that back leg, nice and strong. The front knee needs to come over the ankle. So sink those hips down until that knee comes over the ankle. If the knee's going past the ankle, then you might need to widen your stance a little bit. Now focus to the hips, make sure the hips are facing forward. Imagine you've got those headlights on the hips, they're both facing forward to the wall in front of you. Sink them down nice and low. Well done. Okay, now let's inhale and float the arms up in the air if it feels okay to do so, or just keep them in front of your heart if that feels better. So we're going to take 2 breaths here. Inhale, lift up through the fingertips. Exhale, relax the shoulders down. Relax the hips. And again, inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, lowering those hips down. And release the arms back down. Good. Bring the hands back down to the floor, either side of that foot. And we're going to step that foot back into downward dog once again. Lovely. Okay, so take a moment here just to push those hips up nice and high once again. Feel that spine lengthening out. And then when you're ready, we're going to float the left leg up in the air now. Taking it up behind you. Keep those toes pointing down. Keep those hips nice and level. Three-legged dog. Hold it here for a breath. And then on your next inhale, look in between the hands. And then bring that foot forward. Step. Big lunge in between those hands. When you're happy with that positioning, lift the hands up onto the leg. And then focus on the back leg. Zip that knee up into the thigh, nice and straight and strong. Sink the hips down low so that that knee comes over the ankle. Make sure the hips are facing forward. And then when you're happy with that, either hands in front of chest or float the arms up and over your head. 2 breaths here. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale to sink nice and low. Inhale to lift. Exhale to sink down. And release. Bring those hands down. Now this time, instead of stepping back, we're going to step the right foot forward to join the left one. Into that forward fold. Keep the knees nice and soft. Just allow your belly to melt down towards your thighs. Lengthening through the back. Relaxing your neck. Give the head a shake. Allow your arms just to be nice and heavy. And then when you're ready, we're going to roll ourselves up. So as you inhale, Slowly, slowly, slowly. Rolling all the way up to stand. Well done. Okay, so hopefully we're starting to warm up a little bit now. So we're going to continue our warm up with our sun salutation. So obviously from Monday the sun's going to start to return, the days are going to start to get a little bit longer. So we're going to welcome the sun. We're going to do our sun salutation. So bring yourself towards the top of your mat. Make sure you've got some space behind you. Take the feet hip width apart or a little bit wider. Just allow yourself to root down, get nice and comfortable in this mountain pose. So feel those hips nice and level. Feel the shoulders relax back and down. The chin gently tucks down to the chest to lengthen through the back of the neck. Lovely. Okay, take a breath in and out here, turning your palms to face forward. And when you're ready, let's begin. Inhale, float your arms up and over your head, reaching nice and tall. Exhale, slight bend in the knees as we fold forward with a flat back. Hands come all the way down to the toes. Inhale, we're going to halfway lift. Rest your hands on your legs somewhere so you can have a nice flat back. And then exhale, forward fold again. Put my teeth back in. Just allow yourself to rest here for a moment. So you might want to wiggle the hips a little bit, bending and straightening those legs, just starting to feel that hamstring stretch, relaxing the shoulders down in our forward fold. Now the next thing we want to do is get our hands down onto the mat. So bend your knees as much as you need to get those hands either side of your feet. And then once they're there, we're going to take a big step back with the right foot, really big step back as far as it will go. And then a big step back with the left, and straight away we drop those knees down. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lower yourself down onto your tummy. So lower, lower, lower. Keep those elbows in nice and close towards you as you lower down. Lovely. Now we're just gently going to slide the hands forward so they come a little bit in front of the shoulders. And then push into those hands, lifting up into cobra. Little back bend. If this is too much, keep the elbows resting down and just take a sphinx pose instead. So breathing in here, feeling that lovely little compression in the back. Feel those shoulders drawing back, your heart opening up. And then exhale, lower yourself back down onto your belly. Slide your hands under your shoulders. And then we're going to push into those hands and come all the way back to child's pose. So push until your hips come back to your heels. Rest your head down on the mat. Lovely. Take 2 breaths here. Allow yourself to reconnect with that breath. And then we're going to reach those hands out in front. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Press them down into the mat. Inhale to rock the weight forward. Tuck the toes under. Exhale, push up into downward dog. Taking those hips nice and high. Just staying here for 2 breaths. So feel that spine lengthening. Relax the head. And then on your next inhale, take a big step forward with that right foot. Step it in between the hands. And then step the left foot forward as well. In that forward fold once again. And let yourself hang now. Relaxing those shoulders, arms are heavy. Inhale to halfway lift. Rest the hands on the legs. Lifting up with the crown of the head. Exhale, fold forward again. And coming up with a nice flat back now. Inhale. Bring those arms up and over your head. Reaching tall. Exhale, the palms together. Hands come down. Lovely. Once more, we're going to do that, this time on the other side. So just check your positioning. Make sure you've still got plenty of room behind you. Feet hip width apart. Shoulders relaxed and down. 1 breath in and out here before we begin. And inhale, float the arms up and over the head. Exhale, slightly bent knees as we fold forward, coming all the way down to those toes. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward more deeply, coming all the way down. Bend the knees as much as you need to get those hands either side of the feet. And then a big step back with the left foot first this time. And join it with the right. Drop to the knees if you need to, but you can stay in a plank and lower from there if you want a challenge. Exhale, lower yourself down onto your tummy. Inhale to slide those hands forward, pushing into the palms, lifting up into cobra. Holding it for a breath here, enjoying that nice back bend. And then on your next exhale, lower back down once again. Push into those palms, all the way back into child's pose. Rest for 2 breaths. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Plant those hands firmly into the mat. Inhale, rock the weight forward. Tuck the toes under and exhale up into downward dog. Once again, 2 breaths here, so lift those hips nice and high. Really lengthen through the spine. Press the chest through the shoulders. And then when you're ready, big step forward with the left foot. And a big step forward with the right, hanging down in that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, fold forward again. And when you're ready, inhale, coming all the way up, reaching those arms out in front, bringing them up over your head, palms together. Exhale them down. Well done. So hopefully nice and warm now. We're going to have a go at our little balance. I always like to do a balance every session. This time we're going to do dancer's pose. It's a really nice one to sort of welcome in change and welcome in the sun coming back once again. So you want to have, you probably want to be about 1/3 of the way down your mat. So you want to have more space behind you, but you still want a bit of space in front. You can always shuffle yourself round as you get into the pose if you haven't got room. Okay, let's begin by rooting down into our right foot. So start to put all of your weight into that right foot. And then we're going to bend the left knee, bringing that left foot up behind us. And then hold on to it. Hold it here for a moment just to feel that nice quad stretch. Okay, now you can change the grip on your foot, will make it a bit easier. So at the moment you're probably holding the outside edge of the foot or the ankle. If you bring your hand round so you're actually holding the inside edge of the foot, so you're holding your foot as if it's like a plate on your hand, this will make it a bit easier. It also externally rotates that shoulder joint, so it's opening the shoulder and the chest out as well. So if you're happy with that, if you feel like that balance is okay, you can inhale and bring your arm up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, we're going to bring the arm back down, and as we do so, hinging forward from the hips. So kick that foot back into the hand and gently begin to lift it up. So I'm feeling quite wobbly today. My balance is obviously not very good on this side. So just go to wherever feels all right for you. See if you can hold it for a couple of breaths. And then carefully release. Try to come back out the same way you came in. Well done if you did that side. Let's have a go on the other side now. So just take a moment to root down into the left foot this time. So get that nice strong foundation. And then slowly begin to lift the right. Taking a moment to enjoy that stretch down the front of that right leg. And then flip the grip with your hand. So bring the hand around the inside of that foot. Remember, you're holding your foot like a plate. And then when you're ready, inhale, float the left arm up. Exhale, Start to hinge forward. Bring the arm down in front. Kick the foot into the hand. Feeling a big stretch across the shoulder. Feeling that balance, noticing how it feels. Is it different on this side? Good. See if you can release nice and carefully. Brilliant. Well done, guys. Okay. So we're just going to come down onto a tabletop position once again to do a couple of little hip opening stretches before we come to lie down. So just bring yourself down onto your hands and knees. And we're going to do our lizard pose, so a nice lunge. So we'll begin with the left foot. So step that left foot forward onto the outside of the hand. So before we come forward into this lunge, we're just going to take the hips back, feeling that hamstring stretch down the back of the left leg. And then we're going to release and gently rock the hips forward. So not taking them all the way forward, we're just rocking forward and backwards, releasing those hips. So just allow them to loosen up a little bit, coming in and out of the stretch. And then when you're ready, take those hips forward, allow them to melt down into that big stretch. So your knee should be somewhere by your shoulder, okay? It's going to be very different for everyone because of anatomical differences, but my knee's right next to my shoulder here. So it's nice and straight above the ankle. Remember, the knee should always be above your ankle in whatever pose you're doing, and it keeps that knee nice and safe. So just adjust the pose slightly. So if your knee is a bit further forward, just shuffle the foot forward as well. And we're just going to allow those hips a moment just to soften and release. So make sure your back foot is nice and flat, nice and relaxed. If you need any extra padding under that back knee, just roll up a little blanket or a towel or double up your mat. Now if you want to, and if it's available to you, you can lower down onto your elbows and forearms here. It's a much bigger hip stretch, but obviously it's a bit nicer on the wrists. And if you've got blocks, you can obviously come down onto your blocks, so that's somewhere sort of in between the two. So just go with what works for you, whatever feels nice. But we're going to hold this for 3 breaths. So really breathing into those hips, feeling them release and open up, melting down towards that mat. And then when you've done your 3 breaths, come back up onto the hands if you've lowered down. And then we're going to rock those hips back once again. And then carefully step the foot back. Give those hips a little wiggle from side to side. And then this time step the right foot forward. Placing it on the outside of the hands. And taking a bit of time now just to rock those hips forward and backwards. Getting a little stretch down the back of the leg. And then a stretch into the hip. Moving back and forth between those 2 stretches before we settle. Seeing how it feels on this side. Maybe it feels a bit different. And then when you're ready, allow those hips to sink down, melting forward, adjusting the position of that foot so that the ankle is underneath the knee. Now we're going to stay up on the wrists for a little while first of all, just as we did on the other side. So make sure you're nice and comfortable. Just allow those hips a bit of time to release and open up. Make sure that you're not holding any tension in the shoulders or the neck. Relax the jaw. And then if you want to, you've got the option to lower a little bit further down into the pose. So whatever feels all right for you on those hips. And we hold it for 3 breaths. And when you're ready, come back up onto the hands, rock the hips back, and step the foot back as well. Lovely. Lower yourself down onto your tummy, so just slide yourself down, and then roll over onto your back. Nice and slow. Coming to rest down on the back. Straightening the legs out. Bringing your hands to rest, one on your heart and one on your belly. And close your eyes. And we're going to just take a few breaths now. Refocusing. Bringing that focus inwards once again. Allowing ourselves to slow down. Making sure that our minds are nice and quiet and still. And release the hands down. We're going to slide the feet in towards us, so just bending those knees. Take the feet nice and wide, so the width of your mat. And let your arms fall out a little bit wider to either side of you. And we're going to allow those knees to gently fall from right to left. So moving with the breath, so just let them go over as far as feels alright for you. And then as you inhale, gently bring them back up. Exhale them over to the other side. Inhale them back up. So moving slowly, moving in harmony with the breath. Just letting them melt from side to side. Massaging into the outside of those hips. Getting that little bit of movement there in the hip joints. Feeling a gentle twist in the spine. And a gentle stretch down the side body. Every time we exhale. So slowing ourselves right down. And then bring those knees to stillness, so let them come up. And then allow them to fall in and rest against each other, so nice and restful. Not holding on to any tension. Slide your hands in so that they're nice and close in towards your body. I'm going to inhale and float the arms up and over the head. And then exhale, float them back down by your sides. So moving your arms as slowly as you can in harmony with the breath. Inhale, float them back up and over the head. So making the fullest range of movement you can. Exhale to bring them back down. Really reaching through those fingertips, as if you're drawing a line in the air with each hand. Moving with the breath, inhaling to reach and lengthen those arms over your head. Exhaling to let them gently float down by your side. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. We're going to do 2 more breaths like this, but take your time. Go at your own pace. Lovely. This time, as you bring the arms down by your side, gently bring the knees in towards your chest. So hug them in just as close as feels nice for you. And you might want to rock from side to side. So take the knees a little bit wider apart. Thread your arms down in between those legs. And I want you to take hold either on the outside edge of your feet if you can, or just on the ankles or the shins. And then we're going to lift the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. Excuse me. Drawing your knees down to the floor at either side of you. So keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. Feeling that pinch in the hips as we open up into happy baby. And again, you might want to rock. Some people find it quite nice to rock from side to side in this pose. But just make sure that your tailbone hasn't lifted right up into the air. Make sure that you haven't rocked back into your shoulders. Just press that tailbone back down to the floor. And then bring your feet together and carefully release them back down towards the floor. Lovely. Now slide your feet out along the floor. Let those legs settle down. So let the feet gently fall out to either side now, completely relaxing and softening those ankles. Wiggle your hips, get them into a comfortable position. Make sure your lower back feels nice. Spread your shoulders nice and wide beneath you as well. Make sure that your shoulders are relaxing down away from your ears. And then let your hands come to rest down on the floor beside you. Slide them out a little bit further away from the body. And turn your palms so they face up. Gently tuck your chin towards your chest to lengthen through the back of your neck. And if you haven't already done so, you might want to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Allow yourself now to come back to the breath once again. Bringing that focus inwards again. Breathing deeply in and out through your nose. Feeling the breath travel all the way down into your belly. And then exhaling completely. Allow yourself to take a few more of these conscious breaths, breathing as slowly as you can. Really enjoying and appreciating every breath. And then allow your body to breathe naturally. Give the breath back to the body. Let it breathe all by itself. Taking the time once again to scan through your body. Noticing how you feel. Do you feel any differently now than you did at the beginning of class? Give every part of your body permission to relax and let go. bringing your awareness from your toes up to the crown of your head, feeling everything soften and relax. Allow the soles of your feet to relax, the tops of your feet and your ankles, let them soften and feel heavy. Relaxing up your legs now, feeling your calves and your shins relax, the muscles around your knees and your thighs. Legs feel completely heavy, completely relaxed. Relax your hips now, let them release any tension. Open up and soften, melting down into the mat. Relaxing your back, feeling your lower back, middle back and upper back all melting down into the floor beneath you, softening and releasing tension. Feel the relaxation spread across your shoulder blades as they spread wide, softening and melting down. The relaxation travels up the front of your body, relaxing your belly, relaxing your chest, relaxing across the front of your shoulders. And then it travels down your arms, relaxing your upper arms, your elbows and your forearms, feeling your wrists relax, your palms and the back of your hands. And finally relaxing your neck, the back of your neck and the back of your head feel heavy. And relaxing your throat and your jaw, softening the muscles in your face, feeling everything let go. Allowing yourself to rest here for a little longer, keeping your mind nice and still, but instead of staying in the present moment, for now, I want you to begin to reflect. Think back to the journey that you've been on this year. Nobody's journey this year has been straightforward. We've all faced challenges. But I want you to think about what you're going to take away from your experience of this year. What lessons have you learned? What have you discovered is most important to you? Take a few moments now to reflect on these lessons. Now begin to bring your consciousness forward, beginning to look ahead to the new season, looking into the new year. I want you to think about how you're going to take those lessons forward. What things do you value the most? What do you want to achieve? And what new habits would you like to cultivate moving forward? Again, take some time to reflect on these things, setting yourself intentions for the new year. And finally, In order to clear space for these new intentions, what do you need to let go of? What do you want to leave behind so that you can move forward? So whatever these intentions may be, whatever your targets, your goals might be for the new year, bring those things now into your heart. Make sure that they're nice and close by, that they're always there, always reminding you of what you need to do. And use this next few weeks to begin to manifest those things, to make them into a reality. Moving forward with positivity and hope, with your new intentions. So we're going to slowly begin to bring the awareness back into the body now. Maybe take the breath a little bit more deeply. Feel the breath traveling all the way down to the tips of your toes, starting to wake up every part of you. Begin to wriggle your fingers and toes. Move your wrists and your hands, your feet and your ankles. Maybe gently turn your head from side to side, starting to wake up the neck, the shoulders. Make any little moves, any twists, any stretches that you feel that your body needs right now. And then carefully roll yourself onto one side. And when you're ready, bring yourself up into a comfortable seated position once again. Sit yourself up nice and tall, lifting up through the crown of your head, relaxing the shoulders down. And we'll finish with one final breath as we inhale. Float the arms up and over the head. Exhale to bring those hands down in front of you. Rest them there in front of your heart. Tuck your chin to your chest and bow down to honour your practice and of everybody who's joined us here this morning. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. So just a reminder, I have actually put the January membership up on the website. So if you want to get ahead, go on and book your pass for January. And also a reminder that I have put a 1 month or a 3 month membership as a gift voucher. So if you're looking for any last minute Christmas presents, you can always get those. And it's like a digital gift card that you download and email. So it's really good for if those sort of friends and family members that you're not able to see in person. So just drop me a message if you've got any questions about any of those. So there's not going to be a flow to a class this week because it's Christmas Eve. So the next time I see you will be next Saturday morning on Boxing Day, where I'm going to be doing a nice detoxing session. We might need it after Christmas. So I just want to take this opportunity to wish you all a Merry Christmas and say thank you very much for all your support this year. It's really appreciated. So have a lovely and safe Christmas, and I will see you all on the other side. So take care, and I'll see you soon.